Hey, Luigi can afford healthcare in America, okay? Generic Control in the Doc goes me. We're back with another video, and today we're doing something just a little bit different with Luigi, the richest man in the Mushroom Kingdom. And this idea came from the Stupendium video where they mentioned how rich you are in knowledge, but you'll never be as rich as Luigi, which that video is doing amazing. Stupendium just hit 1 million subscribers tonight, like an hour or so ago, and everyone was like, you should absolutely react to this. So I'm like, sure, why not? I've reacted to the Game Theory FNAF videos. Like I said, Game Theory is not going anywhere on the channel. I just did the one about him being in the FNAF movie, so we're almost caught up with that. Got to do a couple things like, you know, Minecraft, game theories, and film theory, and I'm really interested in pretty much anything Matt Pat does at this point. I'm interested in reacting to all of it, and this is an old video. They got 13 million views, which is incredible. Shout out to the patrons because they get the videos day early. A lot of time have a paywall on the channel. I really hope you have a wonderful day. I hope I can make it just tiny little better because that's what I'm here for. That's why there's no paywalls on my channel, because if you're gonna be small, not big pay, and that's also why I read every single one of your comments. So if somebody's having like a bad day or whatever, I can just take a couple seconds to respond to your comment and maybe make it just a tiny little bit happy. Maybe make a bad day just a tiny little bit better. But like I said, I do read all your comments. I hope to your subscribers. We are approaching 100,000 subscribers, which is a huge milestone. Tons of exciting things going on the channel. Just started Undertale today. I'll be streaming it on Saturdays. I'm literally just got done with the tutorial, just met Sans, and those videos are going up on the gaming channel. Just started Genshin Impact, playing that, streaming that on Friday, streaming Undertale on Saturday as well. You can join my Discord server to get notified every single time I go live, but I'm really curious how rich Luigi is. I know he has a mansion, and that game terrified me, but let's just see how rich he is. All right.
A room full of
how many Bugattis can Luigi buy?
Crib and a graveyard.
Dude, that oh my god, the baby ghost scared me so much.
It all as we get a tour through Luigi's mansion.
Is this all just based off Luigi's mansion?
This edition of Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous
by Matt Pat. Wow, it's showing its age. I've been doing the FNAF videos, almost caught up. So, oh, this intro, okay, but a little bit loud. Oh my god. But all this started because of the Stupendium video. Oh yeah, I'm starting Undertale. I just finished the tutorial today. VODs got up at the gaming channel, streaming on Saturdays.
At impressions and accents. Oh,
I don't know who you're supposed to be.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Game
supposed
Theory,
to be
where first and foremost, where my notification squad at? Shout out to all those loyal bell ringers. Now, today we're finally doing an episode I planned to do back in October, but then FNAF just had to release a game. Luigi always being forced.
Oh, that was
to
when
play
Sister Location came
first
out?
to Mario, and now to Mangle. Then again, is it really that big of a deal? This is a video covering Luigi's
hopefully there's no
mansion,
copyright
a game
issues with these
released over
videos.
15 years
And
ago.
it scared me.
For relevant hype
I was a
has
kid.
sufficiently passed. Or has it? Yeah, it really has. But it is worth noting that last summer Nintendo released a new Luigi's Mansion arcade game exclusive to Japan. It was one that I actually made sure to check out when I was recently over there. Granted, I had zero idea of how to actually play since, you know, Japanese. But brandishing a giant plastic vacuum was pretty awesome. Anyway, this is gonna end up being a long episode, so let's just skip the rest of the intro and cut right to the chase. Random game selection at a random time of year, jokey FNAF reference, episode start. For those of you unfamiliar with Nintendo's little spin-off series, Luigi's Mansion puts you in the shoes of Mario, secretly a sociopath Mario's overlooked and overshadowed brother, who, through no merit of his own, has just won a mansion in a raffle he never entered. Gotta say, I am a bit jealous since the best thing I've ever won out of a raffle is a pie, but hey, good for him. I celebrate his victories. You know, come to think of it, it wasn't even a good pie. It was key lime, which is like the Waluigi of pies. Sure, there's nothing else on the table, you're gonna eat it, but you know, if there's an apple pie on that table, you're gonna go for that one first. Anyway, as
prefer a different kind of pie, but sure.
The free mansion thing was just a trap put together by King Boo to lure Mario and co out into the open and imprison their souls.
I see that background. I think at SMG4.
Because in the Mario universe, it's always a painting. Mario gets himself caught. Luigi has to strap on his big boy pants, grab the nearest dustbuster, and alternatively suck and blow his way straight to the top.
I don't remember much about it. There's some things I see and remember.
If the protagonist were an antiquated racial stereotype of Italian immigrants instead of a poorly voiced bundle of polygons.
What?
Oh
Which game is this supposed to
got me
be?
thinking, how much did this little failed mission of King Boo's cost? I mean, outside of just being horrendously elaborate, it also had to be seriously expensive.
So this is just,
oh, dude, I remember
that.
Random topic for an episode. Money plays a huge role throughout this game, ultimately determining the size of the new mansion that Luigi gets at the end of the game.
Oh wait, he got 2 mansions?
There is value to all of this stuff that you see, from the house itself to the gold
how
and
do we...
jewels contained inside. But
okay, that's
much
millions of dollars.
how
One of those gold
does
bricks.
This game make Luigi by the end of it? An impossible to answer question, you say?
No,
Absolutely.
it's probably coded.
A pointless waste of time, considering that the game is a work of fiction. Well, of course it is.
13 million views.
I'm gonna do it anyway, since it gives me an excuse to research the post-2008 housing market, architectural trends through the decades, pixel sizes, run speeds,
recently
and
bought a new
exchanges,
green
all while
screen.
talking about one of the most fascinating entries in the Mario canon.
Was it really that big of a deal? I know it's iconic,
naysayers,
but
I've got a date with a fictional haunted mansion.
You gotta run math.
You can even start pricing mansions. You gotta first know what you're working with. What sort of amenities does your mansion have? Where is it located? How old is it? How many square feet is the darn
those are
thing?
really important
is it
things.
Even really large enough
Zip
to
code.
qualify as a
the
mansion?
land that's on.
Well, in order to figure that one out, we gotta start somewhere that's really counterintuitive, Luigi's height. Because as all you loyal theorists know by now, in the cartoonishly misproportioned world of the Mario universe, it's hard to tell exactly what size anything is. As over the last 5 years of this show, I've calculated and recalculated Mario's height no less than 4 times based on varying pieces of evidence, coming up with some pretty wonky results at times, like the fact that Wario is 10 foot tall, or 304 centimeters, which was supported by the math, just not by any sort of known logic. Anyway, the standard we settled on in the Mario at the Olympics video was that Mario is and forever shall be 155 centimeters or 5 foot 1 inches tall.
Wow.
Doing some simple pixel measurements from there, it means that Luigi is 175 centimeters or 5 foot 8.
Okay.
But why do we need to know Luigi's height? Well, knowing it, we can figure out the length of Luigi's stride and the speed at which he moves through this game.
To figure out the size of the
mansion.
mansion.
Of any given room in the mansion by timing how
this
long it takes
a lot of
to
time
get
went
him to
into this
run
video.
across it.
Wow.
It has to be measured in time, since it's incredibly difficult to account for the slanted perspective of the game, which would throw off the traditional pixel measurements of the room.
Yeah,
once I had
that
the
can't
data,
work
I was able to build out a pixel to foot ratio that I applied to the in-game mini-map, and from there measured out all the rooms and floors of the house, and several hours of measurements
a lot of time.
We wound up with a working square footage of this colossal old house sporting 3 whole floors and 36 total rooms. Doing all the math, this thing comes in at just under 30,000 square feet or 2,787 square meters, solidly within the range of what constitutes a mansion.
Did they do square meters in like everywhere other than
743 square meters? Just to give you an idea of exactly how large Luigi's mansion
it's massive.
Here's
That's
a picture
huge.
of Mark Wahlberg's mansion, which is the same size. And I use the word mansion loosely because it's not just a mansion, it is a mega mansion.
Yeah, no.
It's about half the size of the White House, or half the size of a football field.
Ah, that's
better.
We're
talking about the
Forget
square
meters.
footage of the house,
Give me that.
which, if you've never had the mixed joy and stress of buying a house, is the measure of the finished floors of the home. It's not
Don't do it.
Of land around the house or any unfinished.
It is traumatizing.
So when I say that it's half a
especially as a self-employed person,
I mean that the rooms alone, when laid together, would be the size of half a football field. And sure, those houses are crazy big, but if you want an extreme example of what a 30,000 square foot residence looks like, look no further than our dear President Donald Trump, who actually has a 30,000 square foot apartment in New York.
Where?
Apartment. The fact that his thing can be
think that's technically a condo, but okay.
same word as my 250 square foot closet that I lived in when I was in New York is just mind-blowing.
You lived in New York? When did Matt live in New York?
New York apartment.
Yeah.
This is just insane. Now, as you can imagine, the prices of a home this size are going to vary quite
Location.
a bit. Trump's penthouse, for example, is valued at $100 million, but that's also in New York City, right alongside Central Park.
It's on Billionaires Row.
It in enough gold to stuff Bowser's train bonus level.
Is it real gold, though?
This might not be the best example to follow. Looking around more, I found that 30,000 square foot mansions pepper the entire United States, ranging on average between $2 million and $20 million.
Show me the $2 million.
So, where does that leave us? Well,
location.
Unfortunately, Unfortunately, you can't just plug video game mansions into Zillow and get a magical value spat back into your lap.
That'd be nice.
So we're gonna need a little bit more research for this one. First, we have to figure
Console
out what kind of
locations.
house we're looking at. You see, most of the priciest mansions on the market these days are modern constructions with modern amenities, neo-futuristic super castles. When shopping for mansions, or any house really, you need to be aware of how old the house is.
The very important
things
things
are always going to cost you a bit more since everything is fresh and up to code. Now, obviously, this is not the kind of
dude, this is giving me PTSD.
Trapped in during his quest to
I remember
Mario,
that.
but to determine the range of prices this house would be operating in, we need to determine just how old it is. And this is actually a really fun question.
But also, if it's really old,
like me,
then it'd be worth a lot more.
In-game details that the developers left in, because Nintendo was super smart and left little design details that allow us to pinpoint the exact time period when this house would have been built.
I don't think he did it intentionally.
Architecture is a lot like clothes, with design patterns, shapes, and home
it's
layouts
trendy.
all having trends based on their time period, falling in and out of fashion throughout the
there's
years,
also
just
style
like
wear.
Jenko jeans and snap bracelets. Seriously though, Jenko jeans, you could shove your whole head in that pant leg.
That's
what were
outrageous.
we thinking? So just how old of a house is this old house?
Old.
Well, to pinpoint what era it would have been built in, we have to look at the design details. And without even going inside, there's a lot of clues that can help us. First off, check out that roof. That style of steep sloping roof with windows peeking through where the roof is around the sides of the building, that's known as a mansard roof. You see it a lot in Europe, especially in very historical cities like Paris. But let's not stop there. Looking at the overall layout of the mansion will give us a clue as to when it was built. The mansion is blueprinted out in a simple box shape with no fancy wings or long hallways to different sections of the house.
How does that
very
answer?
Contained, symmetrical. Once you're actually inside, one of the main features is that bold central staircase and a ton of chandeliers.
Which is old.
And looking at the actual classifications and uses of the rooms, we can see elaborate ballrooms and art rooms. In short,
Victorian,
all of these design
maybe? I don't
details
know.
clearly point to one era in architecture, Victorian.
Hey!
And not just any old Victorian style, this mansion very distinctly falls into what's called the Victorian Second Empire style. It's called Second Empire because it's an architectural style that became popular during the reign of Emperor Napoleon III in France.
I didn't know there was a third
period
one.
Where the French Empire was rebuilding.
Never seen
itself,
Star Wars.
thus
Are those
creating
footlongs?
a Second
Those
Empire in
baguettes.
the mid 1800s. Make sense? Second Empire Victorian.
Makes sense.
Look at that. Video games teaching you about old world European architectural trends.
I don't think
Across
it was
online you can
intentional.
find stuff like this. Fun fact, it's also known as Baroque Revival architecture.
Baroque.
Actually, that's not a fun fact at all. It's just a fact. It also has no bearing on the episode at all. I tell you it only in the hopes that it may one day be useful to you in a quiz bowl tournament or pub trivia. You know, the places where information truly matters.
I've won a couple. I've won
Anyway, second
bar
era
trivia.
houses, even huge ones,
Pop
are
culture.
surprisingly cheap as far as mansions go. But don't you go running for those loan applications
I
just
don't know.
yet. They're affordable because they generally require huge modernization investments, including rewiring absolutely everything.
Everything has to get up the
Foundation
code.
and just generally making sure that the darn thing
That
doesn't
inspection's
collapse
gonna
into
have a
pile
lot of
dust.
things, yep.
Plus, they have practically no insulation to speak of and are going to be drafty as all get out.
Yep.
Green friendly, these houses are not. The most expensive Victorian mansions come in at just about $30 per square
look at
foot,
Biltmore.
or $30 per
But Biltmore's
square
an
meter,
anomaly.
which, when multiplied out, gives our mansion a value of $896,312.03.
Really?
$1 million for a house
Not in this
the
market.
size of
When
half
this
a
video was
football
made.
field. When you think about it that way, it ain't too bad. But remember,
That's not bad
that's
at
just
all.
for the
Well, also
shell of the
location,
house.
but the
Luigi's
land.
mansion comes fully furnished. Granted, you might not want that furniture, but
Doesn't
you still gotta
matter.
pay
Yeah,
for it.
no.
Chandeliers, art, undead baby cribs. Heck, it even comes with its own graveyard, which, and this is a fun fact, would cost over $70,000 to get rid of if you wanted to legally relocate the human remains. Notice, though, that I said legally.
What? What? You do what, Toad? Mushroom surprise.
Secret is safe with me. Add into that amount all the antique furniture, china, 3 leopard skin rugs, a giant harp, and 9
I got a
full
watch
suits
worth
of armor.
over
Yes,
$70,000
I counted.
last
And you're
week.
looking at an extra 400 grand from all the junk
Almost
inside
420.
of
Just bump it a
and
little
mind
bit.
you, that's not including the cost you'd have to pay for the army of Roombas you'd want roaming the place.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, every time Luigi humps a new cabinet, dust just
That's
pours out of
true.
that thing.
Oh yeah.
Well, maybe you can assume
Oh,
that the
no,
air is not
Luigi.
moving.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh no.
no. Anyway, this brings our total cost of Luigi's Mansion to $1,300,000, or basically what Ryan's Toy Review channel earned off its 680 million views in the month of December. How's that make you feel? We're all getting out-earned by a 4-year-old. YouTube, maker of dreams. All right.
And this was after the adpocalypse.
Toy reviewer, so that $1.3 million might be a little bit more than I'm willing to pay.
Yeah.
Luck. Luigi's Mansion.
I'm sure Matt probably has a house
thanks to the rules
in that
around
range.
Stigmatized properties.
Where it's maybe worth that now.
Property that's had something
because I know he has a property in Raleigh, and Raleigh's one of the
stigmatizing
craziest
happen
places.
in it can be drastically reduced in value. Murder, stigmatized. Suicide, stigmatized. The ghost of Luigi hanging itself in the attic, that property be stigmatized.
I would get one
stigmatized
free.
property is the best. It's like Black Friday deals for murder dens.
Black Friday
Price
deals are
reductions
awful,
going
though.
as high as 25%.
Really?
Best of all, it doesn't matter when the tragedy occurred. The
If it ever happened,
can
yeah.
last for decades. Turns
Sometimes
out
there's like
want to live in homes that were scenes of brutal murders. But I guess I could understand why. Bloodstains are impossible to get out of the carpet.
I knew somebody that bought a house for
vinegar,
cheap because the person,
soda. None of it worked.
Kurt
So when it comes
Cobain,
to Luigi's
and
Mansion,
there was
sure, maybe
indents
not every
in the
ghost
wall from the
died in there,
pellets.
but seriously, we can be pretty sure that a mother, father, and their infant child
In the living
met an
room.
unfortunate end inside its halls. The rooms are still decked out for this family. So assuming you're comfortable living in the presence of the Walking Dead, it makes our final running total for Luigi's entry on the MTV Cribs programming slate a cool $986,000. Just shy
of a million.
$1 million. What a steal! So Luigi,
Ghost?
Mansion isn't going to
What
quite
the
make
ghost
him as well off as
extermination?
you might expect. Or does it? You see, the big twist
the
here is
gems,
that
the
while
money,
mansion
yep.
might not be worth all that
It's
much,
the content.
piles and piles
Gold
and
coins
piles of extra treasure that are hidden inside that mansion in the form of gems, coins, dollar bills, and freaking gold bars.
Yeah, those
worth
are
a
millions.
whole heck of a lot
Millions
more.
of
and
dollars.
they're real, as we see Luigi using all of this wealth at the end of the game to pay for his new house. So,
Dude, you could
using
buy
the cheapest
country,
value of a
probably.
good delivery gold bar at the smallest size of 350 troy ounces, or just over 10 kilograms to determine the approximate value of 1 G. G, which is the game's currency. By doing that, I learned that these ghosts have dumped over $500 million worth of change in between those.
That's a lot of money.
Holy gold standard, Batman. No wonder
We don't
Luigi
use
is
gold
so
standard
excited to
anymore.
hump the furniture. Who is bankrolling these ghosts? And if you think that I'm pulling that number out
I mean,
of
they're
thin air,
old.
oh no, my friends, think again. We priced as much as we could. Here's a brief glimpse of that shopping list. In other words, in one rundown mansion,
That's
King
so
Boo and
much
his
money.
thugs crammed over 500 other mansions worth of treasure into the place. Just sitting there waiting to be vacuumed up.
Half
Suck
a
on that,
billy?
Mark Wahlberg. You and your mansion ain't cutting it. Luigi is worth a cool 500
That's-
mil. What are you
oh,
at?
I thought
What?
that was Mark Zuckerberg.
200? Huh, sucks to be you.
Oh.
Actually, no.
It doesn't.
No, it probably
No, it does
doesn't.
not.
So, loyal theorists,
Doesn't he wake up
there
like
you have it.
5
If
in
you
the
wanna
morning
get
or
rich,
something?
Be sure to find a giant, haunted Second Empire era
And loot it.
Victorian
Don't
mansion
do that.
filled with ghosts who have no idea what the value of the dollar is.
I mean,
But
it
in
doesn't
the end,
matter
the
to
true
them.
moral of today's episode that we can all walk away with is this. Sure, we all may feel bad for Luigi because he's the forgotten brother and all that.
Hey,
but seriously,
Luigi
save
can
your
afford
tears.
healthcare
You guys got
in America,
more money
okay?
than all of us put together. I looked it up. There are 2,600 people in the world who have $500 million or more.
That's it.
He is the
Well, that's net worth.
0.0001%.
He has it
so
in
you
like
know what?
currency.
Suck it up, Luigi, you filthy rich bastard. But hey, that's just a theory.
The face of mercy, it does not.
Thanks for watching.
6 years ago, this was How Rich is Luigi? This is all one idea from the Stupendium video that everyone is showing love for. Stupendium just hit 1 million subscribers, and that is awesome. Well deserved. I'm trying to hit 100,000. I'm 14,000 subscribers away, less than 14,000 subscribers away. I actually had an idea last night. I was like, I thought about tweeting this out, but it's, I mean, we only have like 3 more weeks left in the year, and I was just like, huh. What if I did something like, you know, if I hit 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year, maybe I'll show how much YouTube ad revenue or all my income for the past couple years from YouTube would be. I don't know, because that's like a really taboo thing that a lot of people are interested in. I don't know if that would get us to 100,000 subscribers, but it's something I thought about. Don't really want to do that. I don't want to make people subscribe if they don't really want to see the videos. I don't want to force people to subscribe. I want them to subscribe because they like the videos and they enjoy it and they allow me to come into their life and make their day just a tiny little better. But I do read all your comments comments, leave them down below. Hope you're subscribed to some of these future videos. There's a whole bunch of FNAF game theory videos on my channel, and they're not going anywhere. Film theory, style theory is interesting. Food theory, I have never eaten an orange in my entire life. I have a food reaction channel where I really need to record more videos for now that I have a new setting. So that should be interesting. But Luigi is very, very, very rich, and I'm sure if somebody updated these numbers with today's prices, it would be a lot different. The housing market, crazy. Price of gold, crazy. Gems, everything, inflation. He's worth a lot more. Probably close to $1 billion at this point. Insane number to think about. Hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. But until next video, take care and keep the music.